everything is really starting to pop this spring, I think it's time to take a walk through the food forest. Xanthoxylum clavihercules, toothache tree. It's really an interesting native. It'll numb your mouth if you chew on the leaves. You never know when you're going to need that. Got some hazel. This hazelnut's really taken off. This came from Tractor Supply originally. I don't know if it's ever going to make nuts, but it is surviving here in zone 8B and growing pretty vigorously, kind of making a little stand here. We'll see how it does. This is a native black cherry that the birds seeded. I'm trying to cut the centers of them out because they tend to get way too tall. They want to go straight up and then you can't get the little black cherries off them. And I don't like that. I want to see if I can get them to actually behave for us. You can see how we do these little islands here. Throw some mulch down. We could manage to mulch over this grass again and make it pretty and put some sweet potatoes or something in there, but we mow these little areas, these little bite-sized pieces. So pineapple guava, little seedling loquat, but right in between here we can throw down some compost. We have thrown down compost. You can see rotten wood and that kind of thing, but the grass is creeping in. We just kind of mow our pathways in between. I have an old beater zero-turn mower and I mow around my little islands. This is the dwarf ever-bearing mulberry. As you can see, it's not a very big. That was a little too hard to pick, so it's a little underdone. But they're small fruits, very tiny. It's not a particularly great variety, but they're very easy to start from cutting, so we have a lot of them. This is a pink lady apple. I don't know how it's going to do here. I need to put one of those nice little metal tags on it. Another pineapple guava, and these are all wild garlic. I just let some of them grow here. They came up nicely in this little patch. It almost looks deliberate. They have a good flavor to them, and you can use the little kind of these little scallions on the top too and cook them too. They're just native. Right here we have a little autumn olive that I put in next to this variety of mulberry. I'm not sure which type it is. It also doesn't make particularly big fruit. And these are some little native plums. They're pretty vigorous when they get going. They don't look like much right now. This is another hazelnut variety called Harry Lauder's Walking Stick. It's a really gnarly looking, strange one. Hasn't made a lot of leaves for us. Doesn't seem to be particularly happy. It's been here for 2 years and it's not doing very much. This is a Betsy. Hi, Betsy. Got another variety of mulberry here. Not sure what it is. My friend Mart gave it to me in a pot and at a plant event like 2 years ago, and I stuck it in. I don't know what it is, but he's always got good stuff. Now this is a variety of mulberry called Thai dwarf. Let me show you something. Okay, this isn't even the biggest fruit that they make, but let's compare this. We'll go walking backwards. Let's pretend we just reversed the tape. Okay, compare this one to this one. So that one on the left there is the dwarf everbearing, and this is called Thai dwarf. Both are small trees. That one on the left is an inferior fruit. So, I mean, if you're gonna, put mulberries in, I would try to get some that make bigger, better fruit if possible. If all you could get was the dwarf everbearing, that's fine. I mean, it's better than no mulberries, but there are better varieties. This is a Dunstan chestnut that's really just taken off this year. It was one little stick when I put it in, and it's really starting to spread. I like how it's spreading. I hope it'll make a big ball down low to the ground instead of going up. These are actually flowers. It may actually set chestnuts. We'll see. It's kind of interesting to know that the chestnut, out of all the nuts, is capable of producing in about 3 years or so, compared to how slow pecans are. These little weedy circles right here, crepe myrtles coming up from runners. We have crepe myrtles that are just out here. They start up from runners all over the place, and I chop them and drop them. This is the remnants of a sugarcane circle. So that one's about, I think this is its 3rd year, and they're growing. I stuck in a few more trees out here. Put in an apple. Put in a tune tree, Tuna sinensis, has edible leaves, Chinese mahogany. Really excited about that tree. Put in another persimmon. And here's another apple. You know, apples are not really supposed to grow that well here, but we do what we can. That's a gala. We're just planting a ton of apples. Something's got to work. This is Yates apple, which is supposed to be pretty decent for the south. We'll see how they do. This is a popcorn tree. This thing is a monster. Eventually it's coming out of here. Nasty, invasive, terrible tree. But right now it is sheltering this little pawpaw. So I'm just kind of using it as a shelter for now, and then eventually we'll take it down. Speaking of trees that shelter things, this is an empress tree. Very fast growing. It's really taken off this year. I'm testing it. I like the wood. It's a very light wood. It's a hardwood, very fast growing hardwood, fastest hardwood in the world apparently. But I think it would make a good chop and drop. I just happen to like the way this one looks, and I haven't brought myself to chop it. Got another persimmon right here. You can see it's trying to set some fruit. I don't actually want it to do that. I'll just come out here with some nippers and take them off. This is the first year it's in the ground. It's too young. I don't want it put in its effort in a couple of fruits and then hardly growing this year. Just like I told you guys with the blueberries, you know, just take the new fruit off. This fig is coming back from the ground. I'm not sure what variety it is. We just planted a ton of them, but stuck them everywhere. We've got a gummy berry, nitrogen fixing Elaeagnus. This one has rather astringent berries. I think they might be better to make jelly out of or something than eat fresh. They come out to a very pretty red, but they don't taste that great. This is a thornless blackberry here. We put a lot of these in a couple of years ago. This year they really look like they're doing well, coming in nicely. Since we were talking about persimmons, look at all this goldenrod coming in here. But that's all chop and drop. It's chop and drop right there. That's going to go at the base of this. This is about 3 or 4 year old. It got transplanted from our old property, and it made us a bucket of persimmons last year. This is a fuyu, non-astringent. It's a very pretty tree, and it's kind of staying close to the ground, bearing fruit where we can pick it, which is nice. It has a really low division on the crotch there. Divides, you know, like 6 inches from the ground, so I don't know that it's ever going to get super tall, which is fine. Stays a little shrubby back here. That's pretty good. Some of our Tithonia diversifolia came back from the ground. This is also known as Mexican sunflower, but there's another Mexican sunflower that is an annual. This is the perennial variety with the bright yellow blooms on it. It got down to about 11 degrees here, but the snow, I think, actually insulated the bottom of these. About half of them died and half have come back, so we're kind of marginal for them, but they make a lot of biomass. Good chop and drop. This is an apple. I forgot to put a tag on, so I don't know what it is. Might be an Anna, might be a Dorset, might be something completely different. More thornless blackberries here at the base of this crepe myrtle. I let the crepe myrtle grow, and then I planted yams around the base of it. Just kind of use it for a living trellis, and I figure having a little bit of life in here and a little bit of tree cover is better than just cutting everything down to grass. they can just fit into the food forest. This is a apricot, which is not really supposed to grow here, but it's growing nicely so far. I just don't know if it's going to fruit. It's nice and tall. It's like 14 feet at this point. I got it as a little bare root tree at Tractor Supply. I said, oh, what the heck, you know, $16.99 or something, and I stuck it in. As we come through here, you can see how these little pathways worked out. I just go through on the mower, mow the pathways, makes it look like I'm organized, even though I'm not that organized. Iterative design. Thornless blackberry. This is a pretty nice island here. So we've got thornless blackberry, we've got this black locust, which is here next to this plum tree, which is making plums for the first time. I think this one's a seedling. I can't find a graft on it. I know I started a bunch from seed, but I'm not sure for sure. Wax myrtle. Wax myrtle's a weird nitrogen fixer. It's a native. I need to cut this one down. Once we get a really good rain, I'll cut things down, but it's been dry lately. We're overcast today, so there is some hope. You can see how the Mexican sunflower is coming back. It can grow really, really quickly when it gets going, so you know, we just hope that they don't all freeze. We've had bad luck having them carry through. Actually did better this year than I thought. More thornless blackberries here underneath this mess of crepe myrtle. Again, I just think that having a little bit of extra shelter is better than cutting all the trees down, so I left it alone. We've got a nice looking little Native American plum here. This is a non-edible variety of cassava, Manihot grahamii. It is a cold hardy variety, just a little bitty thing, and it came back. It's just a cool ornamental. I don't know, I just stuck it out here. You don't have to eat everything. Here we go. So this is a southern high bush blueberry, I think. Makes much bigger fruits than the rabbit eyes, and it fruits a lot faster. They tend to be a little touchier than rabbit eye in our area. Take a little more work, but that one has been low maintenance. I just stuck it in the ground, took care of it. I have no idea what type of mulberry this is. I just had it in a pot and I stuck it in the ground. It's got cool looking leaves. Sometimes we just propagate things and we, forget what we did. This is a chaste tree, which we plant to attract pollinators. It's very pretty. This is a native Florida crab apple. There's a seedling peach kind of hiding back in there. And I let a lot of the blackberries grow through here, or dewberries, some people call them. And then I planted one of our Rosa rugosa roses. I took it out of the grocery row garden and just dropped it in over here because it was getting a little thorny and a little crazy for out there. But it makes really nice rose hips. It's better over here. And it's at the base of this beautiful pawpaw tree. I got this from Randall at Flomaton Famous just a few years ago. 2 years ago, I guess. And it's taller than me now. Looks really happy. I think it was about 2 feet tall when I put it in the ground. So it's about tripled in size, and this year it really looks like it's coming into its own. It likes being underneath this cedar tree right here. This cedar has actually been quite useful. I wasn't sure if it was going to be or if I should just cut it down, but it's provided a lot of protection. This Satsuma here really likes being underneath it. Here's something I get asked about all the time. Why are the leaves all crinkled up? It's leaf miners. This happens to citrus all the time. There's not really much you can do about it, but they get in there and they gnaw the leaves up, and then you get a new set of leaves. It's all right again. There's a giant ginger back here. Somebody came to my booth at the Palafox Market last year on a bicycle with a gigantic ginger plant, like a 7-foot tall ginger plant thrown over the back of his bicycle. Whoever you are, thank you for giving me this amazing ginger. I have no idea what variety it is, but it has come back from the ground after the cold, and it's so pretty. and so gigantic. I'm excited about it. So thank you for that. Plant geeks of the world unite. This is Camellia sinensis, green tea. We butchered some chickens, and I cleaned all of them out with a hose over here. So this got a lot of chicken blood, and it is really happy this year. It's another wax myrtle that started itself. I just kind of let them grow when they grow. We've got native Chickasaw plum right here. Some of them have really good fruit, some of them are so-so. This is trying to make some fruit again. This is Mahonia. You call it grape Mahonia or Oregon holly grape. I hear a little bit of thunder. Maybe we'll get some rain. Here's one of the most beautiful trees you can grow. This is a pomegranate. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I mean, you should plant this thing as an ornamental, even if you don't like pomegranates. This is just beautiful. And the hummingbirds love it. And they fruit quickly. Even if you went and bought a pomegranate and you planted the seeds, you could get pomegranates in, 3 or 4 years from seed. They're very, very fast. I've grown a dwarf pomegranate from seed, and I got some fruits in about 1.5 years. Extremely fast. I stuck in some Musa Bazju, Japanese fiber banana back here. I put it in, and then it quit raining, so they don't look all that hot. I just divided a clump out in the grocery row gardens and stuck them out here. But they ought to be pretty soon. I've got another plum right here. This one has a couple of plums on it as well. And then I have some sort of nitrogen fixer next to it. I don't know what the species is, but I got it from a native plant guy. And it's like, hey, it's a legume. It's going in the ground. This is a Chinese chestnut. Looks like it's coming in. It was a tiny little bitty plant when I put it in, seedling, and it's starting to look good now. I'm hoping it'll grow shrubby and just make chestnuts close to the ground. That would be ideal. This is Kentucky coffee tree. These are not supposed to grow here, but it's alive. It's in its 2nd year. We'll see if it does anything. Osage orange. Not an edible orange, but very beautiful wood. Useful species. This is a seedling peach. About 2 years old, maybe 3. Peaches. It's making its first few peaches. I call back here, look at this. Peaches tend to do really well from seed, really fast. And it doesn't cost you anything to start them from seed. And if you're going to eat a peach anyways, you might as well plant the pit. This is a really pretty rabbit eye blueberry. I love the blue leaves. Super cool. This is a grafted peach. This also has some peaches on it. I had a pretty good shape going to this tree, but it's sort of outgrown it a little bit, but at least it's not too tall. And another beautiful pomegranate right here. We should get pomegranates. They make male and female flowers. Hopefully we'll get some female flowers and get some on there. And here, I've got kind of this mess of sugarcane coming up, and then there's some weeds in it. But look, as long as you mow in between it, it looks like you care. See, they're just guilds. That's all they are. Just weed guilds. Here's our 3 Sapindus saponaria soapnut trees. Got these from Scrubland Farms, north of Fort McCoy, Florida. Great food forest nursery. I planted 3 of them because they come in male, female, and hermaphrodite, and so hopefully one of them will make fruit at least. That's another mess of sugarcane over there that needs a little bit of weeding in between. Come over here and take a look at a few more trees. I hit this tree, getting bugs on it. Look at these things. Killed them on camera. Crush the algorithm. Crush the algorithm. Crush the algorithm. No! No! Always something coming to eat my plants. This one got hit with a bobcat accidentally when I was taking a popcorn tree out, and it pushed it sideways, but it's coming back if the bugs don't eat it all. Here's another one. This one is a little bit, this one's brand new. The other one's 3 years old, but you wouldn't know because this one didn't get run over with a bobcat. This is another variety of chase tree. It's really pretty leaves, like lavender underneath. It's a different type. It's a more recent one. I planted these satsumas at the same time I planted the other one that's under the cedar tree, but they're like 1/3 the size. And I think it's because they're under this magnolia tree, and I think they're suppressing the growth somehow. The cedar doesn't seem to suppress their growth, but the magnolia has really kept. All 3 of these, I've got 3 of them over here, and they're bitty. They're just growing a few inches a year. They've gotten compost. I even threw a little bit of fertilizer on them, and they're tiny. They're just really slow. I mean, 1/3, 1/4 the size of the other one. You can see my barrels from protecting them. These went through 11 degrees. Everybody else was losing their satsumas. I didn't because of the barrel trick. Just remember the barrel trick. I got a bunch of sugarcane down here. It's kind of getting overgrown with some stuff, but it'll outgrow it. I put in a new green gauge plum. We'll see if that does anything here. It's really cool. This is from Shuckleberry Farms. Marty at Shuckleberry Farms, Central Florida. Great guy, great plants. Highly recommend him. When you find good nurseries, you get in a lot of trouble. Here's another one, golden plum. See that? Shuckleberry Farms. Now you guys have their number. Great people. And here's another one from Shuckleberry, Burbank plum. I'm a fan of Luther Burbank, great plant breeder, so we'll see how his plum does here. Here is another native Florida crabapple. Looks like it's picking up some rust or something. Hopefully that's not serious. Could be a problem, you know, but it could also just go through it. They tend to be usually pretty tough, the native crab apples. Honey locust. And you can see from where I knocked down popcorn trees, they come back from all the roots. This is a repeating problem, so we just keep chopping and dropping them and trying to yank them out. We don't really want those. Here's our area where I tried to get the wisterias out. Speaking of things we don't really want, there are baby wisterias all over this entire area. All from the roots. We pulled the main part of it out and they just keep coming back. Yeah. This is another chestnut here. Very pretty tree. That's what's cooking right now in the food forest. By later this year, this will be insane, particularly if we get some good rain. It's not quite time to do chop and drop. We're just maintaining the pathways, planting in the occasional pumpkins and watermelons and more shrubs and nitrogen fixers. I got a lot of nitrogen fixers waiting to go out here. Honey locust and black locust. I'm gonna try planting some carob trees out here too and see how they do. But it's beautiful. It's coming into its 3rd year and the fruit is starting to kick. So mulberries, plums, persimmons, we may even get some chestnuts, and we've got a decent amount of blueberries. We're gonna get a lot of little blackberries, and we'll see what else surprises us this year. Thank you for joining me for this little food forest tour. If you want to check out my food forest course, it is in my survival gardener community. We have an active community. We're doing challenges, and I've got hours and hours and hours of videos there, from live events, from straight up training that I've done, and demonstrations on how to do plant propagation, all kinds of stuff. Anyhow, I'll catch you all over there. And be sure, if you are in Florida, to check out my book, Create Your Own Florida Food Forest. Have a great rest of the week, and God bless you. Until next time, your thumbs always be green.